Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. A little bit of a joyous video to be making here, a match review in which I've not felt as ecstatic for a long time with a Celtic performance. Well, probably since the Old Firm game right back at the start of September. Celtic coming off the back, obviously, of a 6-0 win against St Johnstone, just finished literally minutes ago. And I thought, why not? Why not come on the channel and make a discussion, make a video discussing the performance we've just seen, what it means for Celtic, what it means for this season, and how it kind of puts things into a different perspective now and for the rest of the season. Let's not get too over our heads. Let's remember at the end of the day we're playing St Johnstone, not the greatest team in the league, but we've got to look at the positives for this game. And I'm going to get into the positives as the video goes along, but today's performance from Celtic is one of the most complete performances we've seen in a long time, one of the most enthralling and best performances overall we have just seen from the Celtic team this season. Brendan Rodgers certainly got the team firing today, and there's a lot of things to talk about. Now, obviously today on a Sunday I'm meant to be doing the CFC Q&A, but you know what I decided? I put the post on my channel saying who wants to see more match previews, reviews, and people want to see them. So I'm going to start here with a match review of St Johnstone. I whistled through my teeth there. Fuck it, I don't know if you noticed that. Probably did. It's very hard not to notice. So I'm going to start here today by doing the review of the St Johnstone game. We're going to do these more often and see how it goes. Celtic Career Mode will be back as well when the Xbox and Elgato and such is set up again. And the CFC Q&A will be up tomorrow. Don't worry, everything will still be here on the channel. Anyway, 6-0. What a performance we were treated to today. You know, we're going into this game after coming off the back of a defeat on Thursday night away from home in Europe, in which, you know, we're playing a difficult team. Playing a team who ultimately are considered better than us or higher ranked than us. They're the champions of their respective league also. It was not an easy game, and we're not good away from home in Europe. And heading into this league game against St Johnstone, I was worried that maybe the game on Thursday gave us quite a negative effect on the morale, on the motivation, everything else surrounding the team. And I didn't expect us to go out there and play emphatically at all today. You know, I did expect us to win. I thought we would always win the game, as I always do. I've just always got the expectation that league games we should be winning, and I thought we should have been winning today, but I did not think 6-0 was on the cards. What I was expecting was 1-0, ball side to side for fucking 80 minutes of the game. Left to right, left to right, left to right, absolute shite. That's what I was expecting to see for the majority of today's game, but no. We started the game shaky, I don't think there's any denying that. I think the first, kind of 5 minutes, we didn't look great. I think St Johnstone actually probably had a wee bit of the better of us in the first opening minutes. They just kept winning stuff down at their side of the park. It wasn't looking fantastic. It was very early doors, but the minute we got our first goal scored, the whole complexion of the first half changed completely. And we really took control, and we started to dominate the game. And we were treated to a wonderful performance, a delicious performance from the boys today. And there's no many things that we can critique in a bad fashion about today's game. There's no many people that didn't put a foot out of place. I don't think there's any players who necessarily had a bad performance. Everyone turned up, they done their bit after a defeat on Thursday, which was always going to be hard to bounce back from. To bounce back from it in such fashion, to bounce back with a 6-0 win is absolutely unbelievable. There was some great individual performances. We know what one especially we're going to get on to talking about, but there were some great individual performances, but ultimately the team performance was fantastic. There was so many positives tactically from what we've seen today. The two up front looked decent enough, Griffiths and Edouard. I've always been kind of sceptical about those two starting together. I've never thought the chemistry was there, and I've never really been a fan of when the team sheet's announced and those two are starting up front together. I never feel like it's going to work out completely. But today it didn't look bad. Obviously they only got the one goal between them, but you know what, the link up is getting better. I think both players have got a job to do, especially Griffiths, of improving that link up and that hold up play. Both of them still have to improve on that. And ultimately when they do that, when they manage to hold up and link up with them with each other, we could have a really deadly striker partnership right there. They need to work on that, but it didn't look too bad today. I actually enjoyed watching. Everybody else, great performances. What really spoke volumes to me was, even when we were up 2-3-0, the team didn't sit back and start playing the ball side to side. We didn't just get comfortable with that and think to ourselves, right, let's just see this out now. Let's just pass the ball side to side, do what we normally do, and hold on to the win. No, we kept going for it. The tempo throughout the first half especially was incredible. We never slowed down. Once we found that rhythm, we kept the rhythm, we kept bombarding them. And that's the way Celtic should always be. We should never be settling for this side-to-side football. We should be looking to break these teams down like we broke down St Johnstone today. And granted, St Johnstone may be a bit easier to break down than other teams in the league. It might be a bit easier to break down than the likes of your Aberdeens, your Hibs, your Hearts. Yes, they're not as good a side, But the way we went for it today, constantly throughout the game, throughout the whole 90 minutes, first half especially focusing on here, and they 45 minutes there, the way we just kept going for it, creating chances, making life difficult for St Johnstone, it was fantastic to watch. It was like watching Celtic 2 years ago. We weren't just settling for this defensive passing and just holding the ball, trying to soak up pressure and such. We weren't doing that today. We were going for it. We went right for it. And James Forrest, we can't move on without talking about his performance. What an amazing individual performance from the winger today. Fantastic. He done everything right. The way he drove at players, the way he cut inside, the way he ran down the wing. Everything about his game today was right. Never had a foot out of place. Scoring 4 goals. I look forward to buying his inform in FIFA, I tell you that. No, but in all seriousness, fantastic performance. A wake-up call maybe for Alec McLeish to get him into the Scotland squad. We'll see how things go into the starting 11 for Scotland. But today's performance was incredible. His goals were brilliant. And every goal spoke, volumes to me of how well the team just linked up today and how well they played. Everything, the passing, the movement, everything was so soft, silky, nice to watch. Beautiful stuff. Forrest's performance, absolutely unbelievable. We need him to play like that on a consistent basis. And when we can get the team, not just him, but the team playing like that on a consistent basis. Now, this is a difficult part because now we've got an international break to go on. And what happened the last time was we beat Rangers, we were on an immense high, international break rolled along and then went to shite. I don't want it to be we fucking pump St Johnstone, international break hits, and then the same happens again when we come back. So we've not got an easy run of games once we come back from this international break. We've got Hibs, we've got Leipzig, and we've got Hearts. That is a difficult run of fucking games right there. Probably 3 of the games you would want to avoid after the international break, but sadly we've got to go through with it. If we can play with that tempo on the park, let's not settle for this side-to-side passing. Let's do that. Let's drive at teams. Let's get forward. Make them worried. Make them shite themselves when they see the fucking 11 run towards them. That's what we need. We need our wingers to be driving. We need our strikers to be driving. We need to be going forward instead of side to side with the ball between left back and right back. Let's create these chances. Let's unnerve teams. Because today, St Johnstone just shat themselves and their arses collapsed every time we went forward. If it wasn't for their goalkeeper, we could have scored 10 today. He made some fantastic saves. And we probably deserved more goals. The keeper did make good saves, so can't take that away from him. But the team performance was fantastic. Second half came out. It always kind of happens in football when you've scored 5 goals or something like that in the first half. If you've had an emphatic first half performance, you're up fucking 5-6-0. Second half's always going to be quite shite. It just happens all the time. The other team just become ultra defensive, to put it in FIFA terms. And the winning team, they've got the win in the bag. So there's no need for them to go out and waste energy. They may as well conserve it. It's always going to happen, but life was probably made a bit more difficult when Danny Swanson, horrific tackle, should be expecting a couple of games banned for that. A terrible, unneeded tackle on James Forrest, which could have caused injury. It was horrible the way he went in on him, and he was rightfully sent off. But once St Johnstone went down to 10 men, that made the game more difficult for Celtic as well. And I know sometimes that sounds stupid to say, but it's true. When St Johnstone are in that position, already 5-0 down, and they go down to 10 men, the logical thing to do at that point is let's just not have any fucking man up front and just defend. They had every single man back because they went down, and it made life more difficult for Celtic to break them down. So from that point in the game, we were just kind of holding on to the ball. We got another goal though, a beautifully worked goal in fact for Callum McGregor, getting the 6th and winning 6-0. And who am I to complain? Who am I to complain even if we didn't go out and score another 5 in the second half, because the performance was unbelievable. So far, up until the game today, we had only scored 7 goals in the league. Today we scored 6 alone. This is what we need to be doing week in, week out, especially against opposition who are weaker. We need to make statements. We need to get confidence high. We need to make other fucking teams fear us for the weeks ahead. We don't want to be walking into a Hibs game when they're knowing they've got the upper hand and scoring goals. We want them to be fearing what we're fucking doing. And after today, hopefully, that will strike some fear in the opponents for the next few games, because that is what we need to be doing. Benkovic was solid. I thought he was, a decent looking fucking centre half. I'm liking him a lot. But Yata was solid. Tierney was solid. Lustig I'm still fucking, half-arsed towards. Forrest was incredible. McGregor, good enough. Got a goal, grabbed a goal. Strikers, good enough. And in the middle, Rogic, good enough as well. Solid performance from him. Everybody today, I don't feel like deserves the need to have any bad critique thrown towards them. A fantastic team performance. And Brendan, need to get us playing like that every fucking week. Let's wrap this shite of passing the ball side to side and do that. Score fucking 6 goals every week. Do it. It's no difficult. We showed that today. International break hopefully won't take too much out of the team, but we'll see where the next couple of weeks go. Let me know what you thought about today's performance from Celtic in the comments below. Let me know your opinions to my opinions. As always, if you have enjoyed, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. The support is much appreciated. And I'll see you all next time.